Ladies and gentlemen, the politics of Kenya is in such a way that when one political leader allies, then there will be other several political leaders who their political career or careers will go to oblivion. And that is actually what is happening to the rise of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. The rise of Fred Okengo Matiang'I is actually affecting several political leaders who fear Fred Okengo Matiang'I like fire, because the rise of Fred Okengo Matiang'I is going to affect those political leaders severely, and it's going even to erase their political career from the map of Kenya. And that is why today I'm going to explain how the rise of Fred Okengo Matiang'I is going to pose a lot of danger to the political career of Rigathi Gachagua, Stephen Kalonzo'S Musyoka, and President William Samoei Arap Ruto. But before I dive in to explain how those three political leaders will be affected greatly because of the rise of Fred Okengo Matiang'I, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and if your friends are lovers of politics, then request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you subscribe to our YouTube channel, always remember to smash the bell button, because that is the only way you give YouTube a leeway so that you can get notified whenever we upload any political content into YouTube. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you. And now let us jump into the topic of the day, how the rise of Fred Okengo Matiang'I is going to affect the three key political leaders in this nation. The first person who I feel that the rise of Fred Okengo Matiang'I and the start of his presidency late come 2027 will affect greatly Rigathi Gachagua. Let me explain. Rigathi Gachagua is from Mount Kenya. He is an impeached deputy president, and he has a party called DCP. And Fred Okengo Matiang'I is actually suspected that he is going to use Jubilee to stop at his presidency late come 2027. And Fred Okengo Matiang'I is actually being perceived very well in Mount Kenya. And many people in Mount Kenya feel that Fred Okengo Matiang'I might be the savior of this republic. And at the same time, Rigathi Gachagua is preaching the gospel that because he feels that he is the de facto leader of Mount Kenya, people must actually go for elective seats using DCP as a political party. And the aim here is that Fred Okengo Matiang'I wants to have very many elected leaders in different positions in the entire Mount Kenya as a region. But because Fred Okengo Matiang'I is eyeing presidency and is using Jubilee, which is also homegrown from Mount Kenya, which actually was read and which is being read by the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that means if Fred Okengo Matiang'I will go for presidency and he will use Jubilee as a political party. That means it is going to pose a lot of danger to DCP as a political party. And if Fred will be on the ballot and he will be pushed by the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, DCP will be affected greatly because many people or many political leaders may go for Jubilee for their elective seats. And this will erase Rigathi from the map of politics in Mount Kenya, because the person who will stand tall is the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And because of that, we cannot have two lions in the same forest. And that will make the political career of Rigathi to come to an end. So there is going to be that political fight for the votes from Mount Kenya. And for those ones who are going for elective seats, you will find we will have people who will use Jubilee as a political party. And we will have people who will use DCP as a political party. And because of that fight, and if Fred Okengo Matiang'I will have the upper hand with the push of the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, it will affect Rigathi so much, and his political career will come to an end. And because Rigathi is old, his age is heading towards that age where he cannot be involved in politics any longer because of the strength. His political career will come to an abrupt end. Another person who will actually be affected greatly because of the coming up of Fred Okengo Matiang'I and because of his wish to stop at presidency late come 2032 is Stephen Kalonzo'S. Let me explain how Fred Okengo Matiang'I is posing great danger to the political career of Stephen Kalonzo'S. Before the coming in of Fred Okengo Matiang'I, many people in the Republic of Kenya used to feel that the man who was right to be the president of this republic, it was Stephen Kalonzo'S. And many even suspected that Stephen Kalonzo'S was actually going to be also to be supported by Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And therefore, the name of Stephen Kalonzo'S was on the upper deck. But because of the coming in of Fred Okengo Matiang'I, who is going to be supported by the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And remember, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was also in Azimio. And this time, many people thought that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was going to support Stephen Kalonzo'S because last time they were in the same coalition. But now, the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, wants Fred Okengo Matiang'I to go for the high seat of this nation. And he has already given his party to Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And that means the star of Stephen Kalonzo'S, political star, which was rising up, it has come down greatly. And now the person in every corner of this nation who his name is being talked is about Fred Okengo Matiang'I. They know nonsense man. And many people feel that Fred Okengo Matiang'I should go for presidency and should be supported by other political leaders, the likes of Wamnyoro, the likes of Stephen Kalonzo'S, the likes of Raila, etc., from the side of opposition. But Raila is now on the other side of President William Samoei Ruto. And that means he cannot support Fred Okengo Matiang'I, or else he thinks otherwise as we go forward to 2027 presidential election. So the race of Fred Okengo Matiang'I has actually affected greatly the political ambition of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is actually playing the second rig to Fred Okengo Matiang'I as things are currently. And hence, the rising star of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka politically has been shattered. And that is how Fred Okengo Matiang'I has actually affected Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Because Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, first he thought President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was going to support him, let come 2027. But now, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is actually not supporting Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, but he is supporting Fred Okengo Matiang'I. So, Stephen has lost significantly because if he was to be supported by the former president, there were very many things or very many gains he was to get politically. First, strategical gain. Second, votes from Mount Kenya. Third, economical gain. All those are gone because of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Another person who will actually lose, even will lose presidency of this nation if Fred Okengo Matiang'I will be supported by the entire opposition side, is William Samoei Arap Ruto. Because William Samoei Arap Ruto, who is the president of this republic, has been thinking all over again that the person who was going for presidency, let come 2027, and he was going to compete with him, is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. But if Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was to stand for presidency, then there was a very high likelihood that William Samoei Arap Ruto was going to defeat Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. But because of the coming in of Fred Okengo Matiang'I and the political star of Fred Okengo Matiang'I is shining all over the country, many people are in favor of Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Many people feel that Fred Okengo Matiang'I will be the savior of the people of this nation, and the people are ready to vote in Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And therefore, if Fred Okengo Matiang'I will be supported by the entire side of opposition, then there is very high chances that definitely he will make William Samoei Arap Ruto to be a one-term president. And that is how Fred Okengo Matiang'I is actually going to affect the politics of, or the political career of, William Samoei Arap Ruto, who is the president of this republic. So the coming in of Fred Okengo Matiang'I is actually going to affect very many political leaders in this republic. But as I have explained, the three gentlemen who will be actually hit below the belt are those three main or key political leaders. The so-called Rigathi Gachagua, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and William Samoei Arap Ruto. I really don't know. What is your thought about that kind of perspective? Do you think Fred Okengo Matiang'I political career is going to affect these three key political figures? Please, I could like you to drop your comment in the comment section below. And please, if this is your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you do your subscription, then it's good to make sure that you hit the notification bell. By doing that, you will give YouTube a leeway so that you can get notified at any moment we upload any political video into YouTube. And for those ones who have actually subscribed and they always keep watching our videos, I thank you so much, because you are behind our inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And with that, I say thank you, and may God bless you all abundantly until we meet in our next political session. Goodbye.